morning, everybody. Buenos dias. My name is Kerry Campion, and I am so excited to be doing the AIFS Instagram Takeover this morning on this beautiful Monday in Barcelona, Spain. I'm a College of Charleston student. I'm currently in my third year, but I'm taking a semester abroad with AIFS to study in Barcelona, Spain. Back home, I am a historic preservation and business major with an urban studies minor, and here I'm really excited to be studying architectural history and business in the same program. That was one of the big reasons that I chose AIFS. In Barcelona, I'm studying at the Universitat Autònoma de Barcelona. I'm now on their 𝗟𝗘𝗧'𝗦 campus, and I'm headed to my first class, which is in human resource management. I'm going to check back with you guys after my class, start answering a bunch of questions, and show you around our campus. Alright everyone, here's a quick little morning recap of me waking up, taking a shower at my homestay, making espresso, and then having virgin olive oil and salt on toast with a side of eggs, my coffee, and some water. This is a common breakfast according to my host mom. Here's a view of my bedroom, and then me getting on the metro. Super quick commute to campus, a quick walk, our beautiful architecture, and then I'm headed to class. Shout out to the Tour Guide Association of my home university, Charleston 40 at the College of Charleston. I'm channeling my inner tour guide, and I'm going to share my 5 top reasons I chose AIFS. Number 1, I thought that the website was extremely descriptive and effective. They presented all the information to me that I needed to know, and any questions or concerns that I had were easily addressed and quickly addressed by the counselors and the materials provided throughout my time of applying to the program. Reason number 2 is that AIFS provided me 3 different universities to choose from for this particular semester, so I was able to pick a university based off of my unique needs, like my major and minor requirements, and what I was looking for in a university. Reason number 3 for choosing AIFS was that they had a variety of housing options. So you could stay in a student-oriented apartment, you could stay in a residence hall with the university, or you could choose to be in a homestay. That's what I went with. I'm so glad with my decision. I would never go back. I absolutely adore my host family and where I'm living and the experience I've had just in the 2 weeks I've been here. So I'm hoping to share a little bit more about that later on in the day. Reason number 4 is that there was a balance between included excursions and optional excursions, as well as the flexibility and time to explore other countries and landmarks on your own. So I love that AIFS provided us things to do, maybe things I wouldn't have thought of or locations I wouldn't have considered. We also have opportunities to explore places like Andalusia and Morocco, which is obviously outside of Spain, and then lots of tiny towns and amazing cultural workshops and opportunities within Barcelona and within the rest of the country. So I'm also planning on exploring outside of Spain, places like Portugal and France and Italy, and so AIFS really balances the time we commit to the program's activities and then our own activities. The last thing I wanted to highlight is pretty short and sweet. I wanted to share that AIFS has an emphasis on equity, diversity, and inclusion, which I noticed initially through their website, but then by going through their orientations and meeting the people that they have hired to support us while we're here, it was pretty apparent that they want all students of different backgrounds to have a good experience while they're abroad and to feel supported by the organization. Culture shock is a great thing to start off with. In the 2 weeks I've been here, I'd say I've experienced minimal culture shock, but I have definitely experienced cultural differences and challenges, things I've had to adjust to. I'd say the main one for me is timing around meals and diet. So in Spain and a lot of Mediterranean cultures, they tend to eat a small, typically like a sweet breakfast, something with caffeine, sugar to get you going, and then they often don't eat lunch until about 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Then they have a rest period where a lot of restaurants and businesses close. People might go home from work for a break, take the dog out for a walk, and then sometimes people will go back to work, shops and restaurants open back up again, and then at least in my host family, we eat at about 9 o'clock at night. They also have a tradition surrounding meal times, especially at dinner, called 𝗟𝗘𝗧'𝗦, which is where you sit around the table after you've finished eating, discuss the day, have conversations about what's going on in the world, and just enjoy each other's company, which is something I already have experienced in my first 2 weeks, and I find it really enjoyable. It makes me kind of feel at home because that's what I do with my family back in North Carolina. It's a really wonderful tradition. And so I've really had to adjust to eating later, eating more or less depending on the time of day, and then also trying new foods. I'm open to anything, but it is definitely different. It's something to just be aware of. If you were to ask me why UAB or why the Universitat Autònoma de Barcelona, my first answer would be this building. This is specifically UAB's 𝗟𝗘𝗧'𝗦 campus, which was once a hospital and is now registered as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. As a historic preservation student back home, I thought it was a unique and once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to take courses in a building that was so architecturally and culturally significant to Spain. Wanted to answer this question on my walk back from campus today. My last class ended at 4, so I hopped on the metro 2 stops away, and then I walk about 5 minutes from there. So in total, my commute is like 15 to 20 minutes, depending on how quickly I walk, so super manageable, pretty similar to my home university. And everybody who is living under AIFS, at least in this program, is under a 30-minute commute to school. I haven't found the language barrier in Barcelona to be difficult really at all because it's a multicultural and international city. There are lots of people who speak English and other major languages from around Europe. If you're proficient in Spanish, one of the challenges you might find though is learning the difference between Catalan and Spanish. Catalonia and Barcelona have 2 official languages, which are Catalan and Spanish. But as a mainly English speaker, it hasn't been difficult to find my way around, ask questions, and people are extremely understanding that you may not quite have grasped the language yet. So surprisingly enough, I wasn't really all that nervous to study abroad. It's something that I've always wanted to do, and so there was so much built-up excitement that being nervous really just kind of left my brain. Everybody always only had positive things to say about studying abroad and about traveling and about experiencing new cultures. Mostly I was just excited, and my expectations have only been met, if not exceeded, since I landed in Barcelona. There's definitely a lot of emotions you feel. You do feel challenged and maybe a little overwhelmed and maybe a little nervous occasionally, but never fearful, more just excited, and you want to make the most of your experience. I really like this question because I am also from a small town. I grew up in the small town of Salisbury, North Carolina, and my first kind of real introduction to living in a city was moving to the College of Charleston. The city of Charleston is very metropolitan, but Barcelona is Charleston on steroids. It is 10 times bigger, there's so much to do here, and there's 1.4 million people in the city center, whereas where I'm from, it's like 300,000. So very big difference. I would say my biggest advice would be to try looking into a homestay, because if you have a local family, you have instant familiar faces and kind of those local roots that you can continue to go back to for advice and for help. And I would also suggest just really embracing the cosmopolitan lifestyle and the benefits that you get out of a city, and it'll help you enjoy that new lifestyle a lot more. So I wanted to go off of the last video and talk a little bit more about homestays. There are so many more pros than cons to being in a homestay. After being here for 2 weeks, I already know I would never change my decision. I've really enjoyed getting those home-cooked meals 5 days a week. That's something I always look forward to when I come home from school, wondering what I'm going to try tonight. I'm going to put a picture on the next slide of what we had tonight. We had these delicious Spanish green beans, and then tortillas de patatas, which is like a mixture of multiple things with potatoes, and it's a local Spanish dish. I would have never tried half the foods I've already had if I wasn't in a homestay. But other than the food, I love it because I'm talking to Spanish locals. They have beautiful places, they're welcoming and friendly, and I feel like I have a really wonderful support system if needed, as well as great local advice. For this question, and then a lot of similar other ones. No, I didn't know anybody in UAB or the AIFS program when I applied, and there isn't anybody from the College of Charleston studying with me currently. There are some other CFC students in the area and in Spain and Barcelona, so I do have people around, but I honestly am very disconnected from them and really have no idea where they are. But I would say, to answer a lot of other people's questions that I couldn't attach, was that it's very easy to connect with other AIFS students, especially if you make an effort and you're outgoing. Between school and social activities, you really connect with students because you're all going through a new experience in a very new place, and so you really just want to make friends and make the most of every moment you have, and I think that experience brings us all together. Just wanted to thank everybody so much for engaging with my post today and asking such amazing questions. Before I head out for the night, I wanted to include my personal Instagram and the Instagram I am working on just for making reels about Spain and my time in Barcelona. So if you guys are interested in checking out what I'm up to in the next few months, go ahead and follow them right about here. Otherwise, thank you guys so much once again. Please check out AIFS if you're still interested. Ask them questions. It's really great. I hope this helped. Bye.